Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on the show this morning is Dr. Emmanuel Irayanama, Management Consultant, Socio-Political Analyst. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Open Conversation.
Good morning, Laresha. Good morning, listeners, and good morning, my colleague.
I also have with me Asim Adams, ESQ. He's a legal practitioner, civil rights crusader, and convener, Lawyers Without Borders. Good morning, Asim.
Good morning, Lawrence. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
And on to the story. River State Governor Similaye Fubara said his administration has resolved to follow his course lawfully to the end of the festering political crisis in the state, urging supporters and all Rivers people to eschew violence and conduct themselves in compliance with the rule of law. The governor, who declared this on Friday at the venue of the ceremony for the official inauguration of the Emoha Kalabari Tema Junction Road project in Asari Toru local government area, assured the people that he was on top of the situation. Governor Fubara further assured that he would continue to lead the state with the fear of God and guided by the laws of the land, adding that he would never let Rivers people down, including all those who believed in his leadership. His statement partly reads, I want to thank every one of you for your support. I want to thank you especially for your support during the time of the election, before, during, and the wonderful support we are getting now after the election. And the support is what is shocking the whole world. We don't have any assembly members, like they said. We don't have any local government chairmen, like they said. But we have the people. Having people is the most important thing. I assure the people of River State that we will not disappoint them. He further added, we will lead as a government that has the fear of God and is purposeful for the people. I assure you that we will not let you down. We will not bring any form of disgrace. Let me start with you, Dr. Emmanuel. What is your take on this statement by the governor to lead and govern according to the rule of law? Has he been doing that so far?
I wouldn't say he has not so far.
Okay.
The facts are very simple. I also do not expect anything less a statement from him, particularly given the challenges he's going through. Given how he came, one will expect that without that support base, he will go nowhere. But I think he's beginning to tell people that he's equal to the task.
Okay.
I think he's beginning to tell people that he knows why he's there. I think he's beginning to tell people that he's a trained civil servant, as it were. He's beginning to show people that he can drive his boat. It's quite too early to conclude whether or not will be able to drive the boat at the end of the day. But so far, so good. He's showing that he can be a man of his own.
So in what ways is he showing that?
Like I said before, first and foremost, one would think that given how he came, if he loses that support base, he will collapse. He has not collapsed.
All right, what are the indices?
You have a government. The government is run by a system. And if the system seems to fail, then you are, what one expects that you begin to show crack along your line. This is a government that was created that looked as it were it was an extension of an outgoing governor's tenure.
Okay.
And for me, before the elections, I had seen him as that. I said, this is nobody but a Wike. He won't stand without a Wike, for instance. But of course, we saw what has happened in the past 6 months without a Wike. He's going on doing his duties. And like he posited, they say we don't have an assembly. He passed a budget with an assembly. They say we don't have local government chairman. I think this is the first governor we are seeing where local government chairman have the guts to stand and abuse publicly. But he has given deaf ears. He will have been carried away by such things. And they're fighting that kind of cause. But he left that and then faced governance so far. That shows for me that the man seems to have independence of mind, and then he knows what and why he is there.
All right, interesting. Now, what are the key performance index that you considered when arriving that he's doing well in governance in Rivers State? What are the key performance?
Now, there are several things we could look at,
right.
But whether those situations are on ground or not will not be what I will look at for now, and I will tell you why. First, for me, we had a collapsed River State.
A collapsed
River State.
Isn't that a strong word?
A very strong word, and I'm very serious about it.
Why do you say so?
Move from Transamadi to the end of Transamadi, which is Slaughter or thereabout, and ask yourself in the past 8 years if there have been any business that had come.
Okay.
As a young man growing up, if you're looking for work, you know where to go to. In fact, in the early 90s or perhaps even the very early 2000s, all you need to do is just to carry your file inside a small bag and then get to Garrison and walk from Garrison to Slaughter. There is no way you won't have a job. It's just no way you won't have a job. No way. Whether it's a short-term job or whatever, you'll get a job. But all those companies have died because the environment is toxic, or was very toxic. Over the years, we've killed all of them.
Okay.
Now, he's in for 1 year. Yes, I've not seen a significant improvement in that direction yet. But one of the indices of governance is the people's response to you. The people's response to you without a push.
Okay.
We are used to yo series. Getting back to the list time where you hear the yo, and then you get Amechi on the match again or whatever, and then you come back to here, Wike they come, will run away, and all the rest of it. If you take all of them together, you're finding somebody who don't have that push, yet people on their own are happy with. There is this number of reason that says that when the righteous rule, the people rejoice, kind of a thing. And there is nothing you can give in governance than making the led happy. And that's that's a new trust in governance, as it were. So if you can maintain that and then begin to look at the fundamental areas like I mentioned, the employment generation, infrastructure, food, and the rest of them, then you can come back to say, yes, there's a real shift and then an actual move to proper governance. But for now, I just give it to him. It's 1 year, perhaps given the challenges that befell him just 6 months into his tenure. He's sitting in, and then he has gotten the first thing. The first thing is that making the people happy. People are willingly interested in him and joining him.
All right, we'll still come back to that conversation. Just hold that thought. Let me hear from Asim Adams. What do you have to say to this, sir?
Well, my advice, which I gave to Fubara yesterday in your sister radio station, is that the era of politicking is over. There's a seeming victory that he has gotten, whether it's Pyrrhic or not, a temporary victory. Time will tell. And I'm very sure that he has, encapsulated what I enumerated yesterday when he said we don't have any assembly, we don't have any local government, but the people are with you. When the people are with you, it means that you are a people-oriented person. And if the people are with you, the people are looking forward to you to deliver some, what they call, dividends of democracy. So these politics they are playing when they want to launch whatever, they go and gather people, begin to make statements, should stop. You can commission a project or maybe flag off a project without bringing politics into it. I thought he said he was going to deviate from the era of the immediate past governor or government. That when they were, I maybe quote him, but tell him quote him. He said, I'm not going to operate like when those days when they want to commission a 10-kilometer road. We'll call CNN, we'll call BBC, we'll call all the stations in the world, come and see. I will begin to insult people and make things happen. That is going to deviate from it. But the trajectory of what I'm saying today is that flagging off, it's not even commissioning here, it's flagging off. A lot of politics is being played, while doing that. And I told him, I said, the era of politicking is gone. You are not campaigning now. You still have at least, let's say 3 years. After the 3 years, I know the last year is for election, second tenure, but you have 2 solid years that you have to do some things. Time is going, agglutinating. Now, well, assessing him for now, I don't really know how we put it. 1 year in office. But there are key areas I want him to look at. Number one, see, Governor Sim Fubara should go and take the Nigerian Constitution. Apart from 162, which all governors know, that talks about revenue sharing, allocation, and formula, he should leave that and leave that for his accountant general to do. He should go to chapter 2 and read the whole of chapter 2, like as if he's reading his Bible. Chapter 2, beginning especially from section 14 sub 2b. A lot of administrations, both federal and whatever, they've neglected that particular, if he wants to make it and let people begin to look at him as a people-oriented man, security and welfare of Nigerian people, not road construction alone. Security and welfare. He should concentrate on it. How are you securing people, men and properties? How are you securing jobs for them? How are you securing education? That is the meaning of that. Then welfare encompasses a lot of this. It's not just flagging off one road to this place. Agriculture, employment, because we have not heard anything, any blueprint. For this past whatever that he liberated himself as open and closed, it's only we flag off this. No, it's just things are good too. But it don't do that to the neglect of in education, agriculture, the economy. For instance, as we speak now, in Borno State, the governor there has come out with litany of how to cushion the harsh economic effects Nigerians are having. I encourage what he did. He brought out buses. But those buses are turning out on a daily basis. When he started that project of free ride, you normally see those buses ply this road, and hourly. I personally monitor this thing in my office. I told Obasa, I said, they were passing there on an hourly basis. I was commending the man. I said, this is a good idea. But they are thinning out. Some of them are parked now. They are not working. Those are the kind of things he should come up with to add to what he's doing. Education especially. Rumokuta Girls Grammar School is in shambles. Rumekini, by that junction, Julius Berger is doing a job there. You flag off that particular whatever. You did it there that day. You saw this, the primary school there, whatever they call the school. It's in shambles. The school opposite SBS. In fact, there are no schools now in River State. The other day in Soku, whatever they call, they say students were sitting on the floor. The picture went viral. These are the things the governor should look at. He should have a blueprint for all these things. But be that as it may, it is enough of this partying and politicking as if we are campaign. Election is coming up next tomorrow. No. I want a governor, Sim Fubara, that will replicate a Governor Mohammed Zulum in Borno State. What he has here is a political problem. But what Zulum has is terrorism. God forbid if terrorists enter River State, himself he will run up and down. All of us will run hater-scatter. Because there's no way you can even fight your enemy with your political enemy. You'll be scared of coming. You don't know what terrorists are going to lay ambush for you. So Zulu is a more difficult position. He should tap into www.bornostategovernment.whatever. Go and look at what look at schools he has built. Look at roads he has constructed. Not flagging off. Commission, as case may be. These are things I want him to do. And should not use politics as an excuse. No one thing. Lastly is this. Nigerians are very, very patient people, though, and they are very observant. They will give you all the love you want to, once you begin to do things. But the moment they get tired of you and disappointed, when you fail promises you have not, made, the way they will run away from you and begin to support another person, you'll be very surprised. So ride on this wave now that you have, as you said, you are a people's governor. Don't allow people to look at you and say, this man promised to do this thing, he didn't complete. A lot of the projects abandoned today were flagged off. You should know that. Commissioning is where the real this thing is. You can start, you can inaugurate this, inaugurate that. But when you complete them, the monorail today we have was flagged off. And so many other projects. So that is my advice to him. Politicking is over. I don't see anybody, trying to pull the rocks off your feet again. The ex-governor said last time that it's not disturbing your administration. The only thing he said is that leave the structure that brought you to power. So, rule. You have a Pyrrhic victory. Let me use a word. I have to use that word, Pyrrhic, maybe temporary victory. But ride on it and build on it. Stop politicking. That is just my take.
All right. Now, still on what the governor said, that he will rule according to the rule of law. As in, madam, so far you are a legal practitioner.
Yes.
Yes. So far, in the way things have gone in Rivers State, would you say the governor has ruled so far according to the rule of law like he's pledging?
The rule of law is about, mostly they talk that good governance is politics for me, but the rule of law as encapsulated in our constitution could be found in chapter 4 of the 1999 constitution, section 30, right to life, 35, 36, 37, 38, 40, 41. Then you now go to the other area that most people have been preaching, section 44. I heard he has a plan to begin to revoke, confiscate, forfeit properties. It should not go into that particular mode, though, because section 44 of the constitution says every Nigerian has the right to own property anywhere and anywhere. But the government also have the right to revoke the CFO given to them, but the government must pay adequate compensation for that. Don't go on a political vendetta and vindictiveness to go after your political opponents and begin to, like Obaseki did in Benin, he pulled down hotels, pulled down whatever of his opposition people. Don't do that, sir. The other one is this. The rule of law you talk about, if police arrest a man, what are you, the governor, going to do? To call the CP and say, why keep this man beyond? Why can't you take the man to court? You have the powers to, do that, even though you cannot force him to, but say something about it. A lot of young men have been arrested on the street, and it has come to your notice by virtue of publication, by virtue of the fact that the Minister of Justice, should be active. To imbibe rule of law, sir, activate your Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of Federation of Rivers State to set up, the model the Lagos State has set up. Now, what is that model? The model is even given in the Administration of Criminal Justice Laws in Rivers State 2015. It's also Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 Federal. What does that say? Is that the Ministry of Justice shall tell all the magistrates in Rivers State to visit detention centers, prison, on a 2-weekly basis. It happens in Lagos. That is to imbibe rule of what you're talking about. Let the Minister of Justice, now Commissioner for Justice, or whatever they call him, set up those panel and committee that begin to, people are languishing in jail, police detention centers all over River State. The second one is this: we are begging you, sir. We want you to talk to the AG of River State to also set up, like Lagos State did, district attorneys. Who are district attorneys? Because a lot of people's rights are being breached, and rule of law is the key. District attorneys, it is the Minister of Justice under you that is able a form of recruitment, employment. You get very experienced lawyers. We are many. You say, Mr. ABC, go to Zaba police station, you be the lawyer there, district attorney there. One to Elingbo, one all over, you can even make them two. The work of the district attorneys is when they bring a suspect. Police can arrest arbitrarily. But when they bring a suspect, you call Mr. Policeman and say, okay, what did this boy do? Say he stole one, to say, let me see the evidence before you. If the evidence is not it can't be substantiated, the district attorney will record and advise the DPO to say, this guy not commit anything, no, please do this for. I have more, but I won't maybe in a later day I will do that.
All right. Now, Dr. Emmanuel, you mentioned, I told you to hold the thought before I went over to Barrister Sims. But let me come back to you, Dr. Emmanuel. Now, you mentioned that, within the space of 1 year in office, that the governor has done well in governance, and one of the key performance index you gave was his ability to garner the support of the people. Correct? Now, let's look at the reality on ground. The governor receives FAC allocation, increased FAC allocation, right? And the governor himself has also come out to say that River State is currently enjoying increased IGR to the tune of over an extra 13 billion naira, on top, added to the original IGR monthly. Now, in face of this revenue to River State, accrued to River State monthly, would you say that the governance you're seeing is commensurate?
Speaking purely from figures, I won't give you a yes answer to it. And that's been very blunt.
Okay.
But again, I've also heard from him say, I have a plan. The first is that he had acknowledged the fact that this is an extra sum that had come. Of course, he's going to be held to it. It is more difficult.
How is he going to be held to it, sir?
We're just doing the same thing now. What you're doing now is trying to attempt to hold him accountable to it. You're reminding him to the extent that you said you had a 13 billion naira extra. What are you putting it into? You've accepted and acknowledged that you have extra fund coming in. What are you putting it? That's part of the accountability, holding the person onto. But like I've said before, people have a responsibility to continue querying and asking. For 8 years, I've been in this state asking for the budget of the state. We never saw it. Now we are asking again, can we see the budget of the state? It's not as if a SIM is going to have a clean, free ride. For some of us, we won't give him that ride. It's purely a waste of time. Now, one of the things he's trying to do is to say that he's going to change his ways. And like Asim said here, we will hold him accountable. We will raise the questions. What Asim says, it is a pariah. Let the claims of the former governor.
Did he say, did Governor Sim Fubara come out to say that the FCT minister borrowed monies for...
Of course, yes. He said we're in debt. Serious debt. He said.
He said,
yes.
Not that the FCT minister, when he was governor, borrowed money to fund projects, What he's saying is indebted to contractors.
What's the difference?
Who did this project?
And then you claim, what you claim? No, what you claim? What you claimed? Hold on, sir. Hold on.
No, don't misrepresent.
No, which you claimed? Hold on.
Misrepresent facts.
Hold on. Which you claim? We are
the FCT minister borrowed money.
We want to hear more.
On projects.
Yes.
He did not say that.
Hold on now. The past governor told us severally, on record. From the plate, I'll play them for you here now. He told us severally that I am not owing any contractor.
Did the governor say that the FCT minister, when he was governor,
is owing contractors as of today?
You said he borrowed money.
Of course, he borrowed money. We'll hear them more. Hold on.
You're speaking based on speculation.
Hold on. I'm giving you the one that is validated now.
You have to.
Listen, hold on. There is a speculation. And there is what is hold on now. There is a speculation, and there is what is fact. No, there are two things. I just told you now. The past governor told us in this state severally on national TVs and radio that as a governor, I have done X, Y, Z. I have paid all these projects 100%. That's what he told us. Today,
did the governor say? Like you have
why are you leaving the one I just told you now? Because you're still getting back. You're still getting back to the one you call a speculation.
Yes.
I did say something here clearly. I said, as a person, I am aware that he borrowed. Let me give you that.
That is speculation.
That is not speculation. I said, as a person, I know.
Can you substantiate?
Of course, I've just told you here. I've just told you here.
What are you substantiating?
I've just told you here that the state. What are the debts we owe? If a governor is owing debts. What kind of debt is he owing?
All right. Dr. Emmanuel, let's put the facts on the table again. The Governor Simfobara, His Excellency Governor Simfobara, came out to say that particularly the old Bori that he commissioned.
That's not the only one he has told you. He said several contractors.
He was doing that commissioning.
Yes.
Now, the governor said that River State is owing contractors some of the projects that were done.
Don't change the word some. He said most.
That were
done. You can play it.
Hold on, sir. Hold on. You have your say. But we need to put the facts.
No, you can play it. He said most.
Now,
so don't change the word
to some. He said that the FCT minister, when he was governor, did not finish paying the contractors.
And they're still pursuing him.
Hold on, sir. There is a difference between owing contractors balance of jobs from the state borrowing money to fund projects. You're misrepresenting facts.
You're not getting.
You're misconstruing it. You said.
I think you're the one that is even misrepresenting facts as at this time. I have said here that the past governor. Hold on. I am here alive, so hold on and you listen to me.
All right.
I said here, and I'm repeating it on national TV.
Okay.
That the former governor, Chief Barrister Nyebuso Wike, told us severally in this state that he had more than enough money and that he paid mark my word, for every job he gave up until he was leaving office, that he had paid all contractors. That's what he said. So let's get it clean. That he has paid all contractors up front. Here, his successor is telling us clearly that contractors for those jobs are pursuing him because he is indebted to them. He didn't pay them.
How many percentage?
No, that's a secondary matter.
How many percentage, sir?
That's a secondary matter.
Now let's look at contract.
That is a secondary matter.
No, it is important.
That is a secondary matter.
It is important. How many percentage?
It's also insignificant. I have paid all 100%. Even when it's 1%, you lie to river people.
You would agree with me.
You lie to river people.
Hold on.
It may be just it may be 90%.
Dr. Emmanuel.
No, it may be 90%.
Dr. Emmanuel, you would agree with me.
Yes.
That the FCT minister.
Maybe 90% indebted.
Don't put words.
No, I'm just informing you now.
Dr. Emmanuel, you would agree with me that at no point did Governor Fobara come out to say that River State borrowed money to fund projects.
I don't know where this borrowing issue is coming. Address the issue of lying to river people.
Rather, it came out from you.
I'm giving you the answer now. Address the issue. I have said, to the best of my knowledge, apart from these debts, there are borrowed monies. That's my own.
Borrowed money?
Yes, that is my own. You only can sue me for it.
You're saying I'm misrepresenting.
Because you're living what I'm talking about now.
That is speculation.
It is not.
And that's why I'm
saying not.
It's important.
It is what I know.
Can you substantiate?
I just told you here that I know that Monies were borrowed, several monies were borrowed from banks.
Can you substantiate that?
Let the inquiry come out and see how we'll push them.
If you're saying this on my show, I would need you to.
You just wait for the inquiry to start and see whether we will not submit those figures. I will say it here.
No. If
I've just informed you.
If you are,
let the inquiry. The governor promised us one simple thing that we're waiting for.
Manuel, if you're emboldened to make this speculation,
we're waiting for you. I just told you here. The governor
will also be able to drop them.
I won't drop them here. The governor has assured us that he will start. He will start an inquiry because
if you cannot drop them here,
since you're serious with that,
them here.
I've just given you a hint if you want to know. I said, to the best of my knowledge, I, Chief Dr. Ibrahim is telling you today, that to the best of my knowledge, monies were borrowed in the name of River State.
All right, Barrister Sims.
Well, I want us to, we don't need to, be on high decibel for us to get one or two things across. I know that is the mode of the discourse. It shows how very contentious that matter is, as the case may be. One thing is this. In law, there's a simple saying that he who alleges must prove.
Good.
If you allege that the past administration borrowed so much money and has not paid the contractors, it behoves on you that is alleging that Wike borrowed to show proof. But I went through, I have not seen any other than one AUBA, A-U-B-A, which the governor's office sent out. AUBA Nigeria Limited. I got a copy of that this from the governor's social media handler and from the government of River State. That is, only one company has come out. And that company wrote to the present administration of Fubara to say that there's an outstanding balance or indebtedness, to their company by River State. And the total sum of money there was 263,500,000 and some cobbles. That's the way they do it. That is the name of the company is AUBA Nigeria Limited. They brought out those facts. And immediately soon after that particular letter came out, the immediate past commissioner for information, something, is it David West, or I don't know what they call him, that's the former minister for works.
Commissioner for works.
Commissioner for works. Who George Kelly also, I think it was George Kelly. He's no longer in government. He came out and held a press conference where he said yes, that they are aware of this particular claim of this particular company as the balance left. He went further to say that the particular contract for which this company wrote the administration of SIM, that the total amount for that contract was about 1.something billion. He even stated the particular project that that money was for, and that they paid 90% of the money, remaining this balance that is left, because as at that time, the administration was winding up. That was the excuse he gave, that the administration was winding up the further 4 years to make it 8 years of the administration of Yeso Wike. So for me, that is the only one I've seen. And I was thinking that the governor is going to come out with an avalanche of those sort of letters that is in the public domain right now. Only that I have seen. And we asked the governor to publish the names of those companies and their directors and whatever the case may be in an official this newspaper where all of us can see, but till today we have not seen any. So the only one who can say is that of the Aruba that is in the space. And the ex-commissioner for works, responded to the reason why that 260-something million was still not paid. That was the twilight of the administration, so all those things. Now we can excuse them for that. Until and unless a list is forwarded by those who are alleging, a copious list, then we can now look at it and say, oh, what this man did is wrong. It's not, he didn't say the truth. Because if it's just one case, we can pardon whoever that has done that. Maybe it was an oversight, which the law, even in law, we do admit such. If it was an oversight, maybe from what he got on his table was that everybody has been paid. We didn't know that there was one case that was a case. Just that one case now that we know until they bring more. Then talking about debts. The second quarter of 2023, which was last year, I also brought this thing out. I was trying to see if I can browse it and show you people now. But if you go to the Bureau of Statistics results or reports, the Bureau of Statistics is the one that monitors our indexes on loans and whatever, foreign and local loans. It was even through there I knew that states can even borrow money from abroad, but they had to take permission from the FFF. So Rivers State was not even among the 10th, the most borrowing state, 10th position. The first one was Kaduna State, Lagos State. The second one was Kaduna State. The third one was Zeta. You had Anambra. Anambra was 10th. Anambra was 10th. Then Edo is in that list. Among the 10, the most 10, the River State was not among them for quarter 2. Do you understand the point now? And it was in quarter 3 that they handed over to, because quarter 3 should be May. I don't know, sir, you are an accountant. I think quarter 3 should be May that they handed over. The report for that one has not come out here because it's like they do it, 6 months or whatever as case may be. So I don't know what they're talking about these loans, borrowing and all those things that Rivers is so indebted. From this Bureau of Statistics report that we got, Rivers was now among the 10th. They may be owing. They are owing. There's no state that is not owing. In that particular, whatever, we found out that all the states were owing. I was even sure that Anambra State was even in the top 10. You understand the point now? Based on the fact that Anambra was a well-managed state under Soludo and the rest of them, Anambra was still in the first 10. So I was shocked that they didn't see Rivers State there. We made an argument over this, and I challenged somebody who will not enter the site in the register who showed. I asked him, browse. Came out, Rivers State was not there. So I think it's plus to the not that Rivers State is not. Rivers State will be owing money, and monies that being owed is that administration passed debt, to the next administration, right from 1999. The 1999 people will pass to that one, take over from 27. I remember there was a time Rotimi Amechi set up a panel to investigate or probe Ordili. Said Ordili borrowed billions, and the state is indebted in billions. And secondly, Amechi came out publicly and said that even the allocation they got for that month or 2 months is about 60 billion. That is holding the money with him, he has not spent it. That will start spending as case may be. So then from there to, Yesowike, when Yesowike came, he said that Amechi government, he inherited loans from. So these loans are decades old loans as case may be. So we should not put it in the purview of one. And I still promise you, no matter the panegyric statements made by the governor here, he will still leave loans. He will still leave debt for them because he can't pay all the loans being owed. He is going to take, forget this early money rain that is happening here. Erosion has not started flowing. Talking in a roundabout manner, standing bellicose, does not help these days. So tomorrow will come. And I want to tell politicians, especially the governor here, that I want to say that what you cannot get legally from the legal arena, you feel you can get it from the political roundabout. You're going to be a problem if you're not very careful. Because when you make so much promises is a debt. They are debts. So don't think that you are going to clear the state whatever. Those loans are not weakest loans. The loans are loans that were even far back before you came into government or you ran that admission with Wike and the rest of it. So he left, Amechi left, Odili left, and you will still live. There's no way you will not leave debt to Rivers State. I am telling you, your predecessor will also come. A day for judgment will come for everybody. You might do 4 years, do 8 years, but when the period of your administration come, your scorecard must be shown. Pray that the person that is going to take over is somebody that is going to, cover your tracks. And just pray, because we must have tracks. We must leave tracks behind. We leave them behind. All governors leave tracks behind. President leave tracks behind.
All right.
You understand? So these are the things. Do sanctimony.
I laugh when we hope to close tracks. We do not for the people. I'm coming, sir.
Close tracks.
I'm coming, sir. For the people. We don't expect the tracks to be closed.
They can't close it.
We want the tracks to be open so that we can actually do proper assessment.
That's right.
And I'll tell you something that I like.
Yes.
The one way of doing proper assessment is that each of them are open to the people. My grounds with the past administration was a question of a lie to the people, and I will tell you why it's a lie. Every government,
just like this one lied recently.
Every government, when you bring it, I will we'll analyze it.
Can I before I forget?
No, just keep it to your tongue.
Doc.
We'll come to that.
No. It's an official.
So, government borrows, nations borrow. Nobody's against it. As a leader, be bold enough to own up truths. I have project XYZ. Part of sourcing of fund, borrowing is one part. We see the things that are done. There are special tax systems in Lagos State where entrepreneurs pay tax ahead of time to do things.
The governor has not come out to say the FCT minister borrowed.
I don't know what. No.
Why are we discussing this?
Because you wanted to go that way.
No, you don't.
My position, listen, my position is very simple. I said, the past governor, you're still taking my time. You're intentionally taking my time. You are intentionally. I owned it. Did I deny it? I owned it. So keep that aside. Let me be sued for it. What's the problem? Now listen to the other aspect. Listen to the other aspect. I said, my grounds is that you came to lie to us. Listen, I believed the outgone government when she told me, and it did all Rivers people and Nigerians, that she was not owing any. Now that you're coming to say it's one you've seen, we have heard there are more.
Where are they?
I just told you that I said, let the governor make sure he fulfills his promise of setting up the commission or whatever they intend to. We will see. Yeah, we will see them. There is time. Don't stop rushing. A very good time.
I am not rushing.
You are rushing.
I don't have an issue.
You are rushing.
Dr. Manuel, I don't have an issue with you having your say. But on my show,
I just informed you.
On my show, you speak based on facts and not speculation.
I don't know what you call speculation. When I owned up to it,
you've owned up to it.
You see one area where the governor said, I was standing in Mount Olympus the other day. I was making that rats are eating gari and beans and whatever as case may be. That when they stop probe foul, I'm sorry I'm using it's a foul language that we normally use in Nigeria here. The issue of whatever we open. I was laughing. I laughed, so much, and I tapped on my friend. I said, "Look at what your governor is talking about." You know what? One thing people don't understand is this. When you are pointing one finger at one person, the other four thereabout are pointing at you. That is a lesson you have to learn in governance, administration, politics, as the case may be. You've done this today. When they begin to play you pictures, 4 years, 5 years from now, 7 years from now, what you said. You say, I didn't say it. One of the things I found out, which I said I was going to inform you, I have two, but I will not say the other one because it's very official. But the comic one is the one he said that he will not behave like the previous administration. When they want to construct 1 kilometer road, they go and bring CNN. But what I have been saying all this while, it's not even commissioning flag off already. He will invite governors, he invite Is that not the same pattern the past administration did? And he said he's going to deviate from it. Now look at it. Fanfare everywhere, dancers here and there. I was wondering, what kind of thing is this? OT has been constructing roads. He has not invited you to come and commission 1 or 2. They're not making noise about it. Zulum has been doing. This man in Lagos doing blue and red rain, whatever that means. People are saying there is a good means of transportation. They are doing it, but here, with this cacophony, high decibel voices, that we keep hearing. Then they post on this your essays and people post. The governor, what I see there is I see people dancing African magic. I now look at musicians who were playing for the last administration. And the same one are playing for you. So you feel that there's something in common. That this world we live. and administration come and go, Rivers State will remain. So when you begin to play the role of John the Baptist and the rest, then you now feel you want to be like this man, Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore in Rivers and whatever. You are above board. We are taking note of all these things you are saying. Oh. I didn't borrow money to do what I'm doing. But you have a budget of 800 billion. The two contracts that you flag up have seen 221 billion. You don't want 220 something billion. If you add that up, is it not about 400 something billion already? You said you pay 30% of the whatever you have done. When you pay 30% mobilization to contractors, but this is what the last House of Assembly was telling you, that you pay 30% because of the budget in place. Pay 30% as mobilization to contractors and not 70% at the usual DC. You kicked against us and said, this man trying to bring bad laws. But that is what you have implemented now. Rivers State is known for paying 70% and above as mobilization fee. So, but you now, I listened to you, sir, and I saw it. You pay 30% mobilization. But the House of Assembly that we're having problem with 27, this is a law that they review, the Procurement Act and whatever they have a laws they say they want to review, that say the government shall not pay more than 30%. Everybody can say, how can you mobilize more than 30%? It will not be enough. But that is what you have done in these two projects, last ones you did, Mr. Governor. Is that not a policy somersault, as the case may be? These are things we should look at. So we are recording it, oh, you think we are not recording it? Now we put it together in a diary. The diary I have today is 2024. When I bring it out in 2027, it becomes 3 years old diary. I record everything people do. I write it down. On Sunday, this is what the man said. I follow you every time on television. So, but you are already faulted. I need your SA or whatever to come and challenge me on this on national TV. That you say 30%, because the assembly law, they amend 27 people that they vetoed you and put, was that your grasp was that 30% payment was not enough for projects. That you need 70%, as it has been. But the assembly say, no, make it 30 so that you can have other money to do other things for a period of time. But you are giving 30%. I am looking at how. That is, do you know the 30% payment or mobilization? I've done contract before. Out of 100% you mobilize, you see what you are doing now? You are giving room for abandonment of projects. Because that 30% most of the contractors get, they will use to mobilize. They mobilize pockets, they mobilize people, they mobilize community. They now come back to you and say, okay, we need another further 30%. You say, the one I gave you, what did you do with it? Let's see the milestones you have achieved. The contractors will run away because some of them will look at you and say, where this man don't start. That is, sir, projects are abandoned. If you give 70% to contractors, they do it and they abandon it. Then talk less of 30% mobilization to them, sir. Is that good policy? They may take it from you now, you give them, they will run away too, except you monitor them. So these are red flags I'm trying to raise. I'm being consciously active. That's why I said, what you cannot get in the legal arena, you want to collect it from the political roundabout. We are doing a roundabout political, whatever, standing bellicose now to the people. Look at what is going on. You are telling people sweet things, what they want to hear. You understand? But this year we have two. One is to receive good news. The other one is to receive and filter it and say whether it's good. We are observant. I pray you succeed, sir.
All right. The former president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, has asked Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, to work together for the good of the people of Rivers State. He called for the troops on Monday during the flag-off of the 222.1 billion naira Trans-Calabari Road in Obiakpo local government area. The state has been in a year-long political crisis since the immediate former governor of Rivers State and now FCT minister Nyesom Wike and Governor Fubara, his successor, fell out. According to Jonathan, outgoing governors and incoming governors must know that they have to work together for the collective interest of the citizens of the state, and that is critical. He said, in the case of Rivers State, Honorable Nyesom Wike and Governor Sim Fubara must work together to develop the land and people of Rivers State. The tension will not help us. He urged political actors to work together for the Rivers people. Dr. Emmanuel, what is your take? Do you see peace returning in Rivers State?
That's an elder statesman talking, first and foremost. And so one does not expect anything less than that kind of advice. Indeed, without peace, no development can thrive. However, when we talk about peace, I like the, is it Bob Marley's song that raises the question? That raises the question between peace and justice. It is easy to ask for peace, 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 peace. The fundamental thing is to ask, what is the cause of the unrest? Why is the conflict? And let parties understand whether it is worth it or not. The most dangerous peace for me is the peace of the graveyard, where you pamper to say meanwhile beneath is burning. I've raised the questions between Sim and Wike. What is the real issue? I hear Wike telling me a structure. I ask, what structure? Is it a structure that had enabled a 13 billion naira difference in revenue accruable? Is it a structure that allows for an extension and or a third term of a Wike in the face of a Sim? Is it a structure that ties the hand of the man on the seat while decisions are taken elsewhere? Or is it a structure that indeed is linked to actually helping Rivers people? What is that structure? We have seen, even though he has not actually today told us the real thing, telling us that there's a rat that has refused things to come in. What is that? Those things that are coming in that the rat is actually taking. We need to understand all of that before we actually sit down to say, hey, at this point, this is the kind of peace we want. I see people come out once in a while to say, sheath your swords. And I ask myself, the swords from which direction? If a sin, and which I have always said, will hold you accountable, there is time for accountability whether you like it or not, we'll ask you the same questions. It is not a question of your face is fine or you're young or whatever that will drive the deal at the end of the day. Oh, there are basic questions we'll ask you when the time comes. Same thing some of us are doing to a Wike and perhaps to an Amechi and perhaps to an Odili. We'll do them at the appropriate time. But beyond all of that is that the parties must understand that they can never be bigger than Rivers State. They can never be bigger than the state. So as much as former President Jonathan is asking for both parties to work together, they must understand that the working together should not be their bellies. For their bellies, it should be to the good of the average Rivers person. The average youth there needs job. There is hunger in the land. We need food production. We need good schools for our children. We need empowerment right, left, and center. If their peace will bring those things, yes, they should have the peace. But if their peace will pocket Rivers into their pockets, there should be no peace among them. There should be no peace. I'm not saying this on national TV.
All right.
There should be no peace among them. If their peace will cause Rivers people continuous hunger, no schools, no job, then there should be no peace among them. What we need are real dividends of democracy. Real dividends of democracy. We do not want people to capture us continuously into their pockets. Okay. We've had more than enough.
All right. Asim, over to you. What is your take on this?
You see, when you go through some of the philosophers, some of those who made change possible, people like Nelson Mandela, people like Mahatma Gandhi, people like Martin Luther King Jr., Bishop Desmond Tutu, etc., as the case may be, amongst others, they have spoken about the importance of peace. Herodotus is a Greek god. He said, in peacetime, sons bury their fathers, but in wartime, fathers bury their sons. Mahatma Gandhi, also expressing the essence of peace, no matter how bad the situation is, said that the most disadvantageous peace is better than a just war. That is, the most disadvantageous peace is better than a just war. If you look at the problem between Hamas and Israel today, there's nobody that is at peace there. Both Israel and Hamas, they are fighting. They can fight for the next 30 years. No development, nothing happens until they seek peace. Then you look at what has happened in the world of politics, where they said peace is just something that is there and everybody must have to do that. One is that peace is not by, it's by understanding, and it's not by force. So people come to talk. Yes, you can make that listen. What have you done to bring them to understand themselves for peace? That is the key thing. Secondly, I will commend Jonathan, because among the pantheons of elders and the Galacticos, those with gray hair, I'm having gray hair now, so I will also join you people. I will join you people. Amongst them, he's the only one that has come to say, these two sides come together, no matter how it is. Others are exacerbating. Some are even running to court. Some are even going to the other side to go and tell this man. They go this side, tell him, do this, do that. The state is boiling. But he has come out among the pantheon, to do that. Those of them, they say they are Christians. The Bible says the peacemaker, blessed are the peacemakers, not blessed are the warmongers. If you want war, remember that those who seek for war now, or when I mean war, not by shooting gun, but political war, are those who are trying to protect their properties. The old men who are trying to protect their properties, using the middle class and the lower cadre to fight that particular war. That is why they are thriving here. I now said another parable. I said, my people say, if cricket, when able for fire, say fire they burn and where, you know that there is so much oil inside that particular cricket. Flies gathering a place and bees gathering the other side. There are two different things. Bees gather where there are nectar to produce good things. Flies gather where you have smelling things. It is as the case may be. So these are two different things. And this one who ran to court say this side is the right one. The others ran and said this side is the other one. But you have come. Because in my place, they said, elder, not the day for house, where be say goat, when they tie for rope, will they give birth. These are things that the African tradition has taught us. So please, I want us to draw a flank and give cut some slack for Jonathan for admonishing the two parties to come together and see they can come together for the good and development of this state. Have you ever wondered if there was no bickering between, Fubara and his godfather? I don't think they would have gone in leaps and bounds. And the other thing finally for me is that, you know why this is happening? If they were not good friends in the past, I don't think this kind of quarrel would have been fierce. They would have said that two enemies quarreling, but these are two good friends. Peace is the hallmark of development, as the case may be. Justice might not necessarily bring peace, because you might deliver. I've seen, I'm a lawyer for 31 years, I've seen where courts have delivered very good judgment. The parties will look at the judge and say, this is a very good judgment to say, yes, that is the judge ruled. But one man will come and say, we are not accepting it. They go on appeal. So justice does not necessarily bring peace, because it depends on those who that justice, or who are those seeking those justice. As scripture say, this is the thing to be done. I killed the man. They say, yes, I'm the one that killed. Okay, pay the money. I pay the man will say he will go to appeal. He will go to appeal. And drag it till the victims of that thing die. You understand? So we pray that River State will get peace. Nobody loves war. I've given some quotations here about war and peace. I'm happy that Jonathan has finally. People should draw from the trajectory of Jonathan and not the other way. That is my take on this, please.
All right. Now, Dr. Emmanuel, back to you. When you were speaking on peace, you made mention of the IGR, and you also made allusion to that being part of possible issues. Now, but you made a statement that I need you to clarify with respect to the IGR. You said that when the governor said that there is an increment in IGR, you said from the past administration, correct? Now, let me quote the governor and what he said with regards to the IGR. He said, how much is our allocation, when he was talking about paying civil servants and the promotion and the need to pay more salaries? He now said, how much is our allocation? So we needed to think outside the box. That was where we now did a rejig of our internally generated revenue. And I can tell you today that all the projects we are doing, we don't borrow. He further revealed, we are very transparent. Excuse me. We are very transparent. We are not hiding anything. That is why I boldly would say the least we do this period is 26 to 27 billion. The highest that we are doing before was 12 to 13 billion. Now, from the statement of the governor, I actually quoted the governor on this. From the statement, it is clear that the governor is his own administration. He did a rejig.
I'm a player in the economy. I have raised fundamental questions. I'm a private sector player. One, how many companies have come to River State? And I've given you the hub of the industrial area of River State. Let's go. Take your crew. I'll move from one year to the other till the end. I have the list. How many companies have come in? How many are still going? Get a simple data from NECA and MAN and check. MAN membership in the past 20 years, see how it had dropped. NECA membership, how it had dropped. Is there. That's the business community for you. People in government seem perhaps not even exempted. Give us half truths. But our eyes are very clear. We can decipher from the truths, from the lies. We can sieve out the lies and the truths. Very simple thing. What did you rejig? Show us the thing. But the fact we now know is that you've agreed with us that this is how much is on ground.
From what time?
I asked you a very simple question. Where did you rejig? Where did you get him?
From
the extra tax?
You can't ask me. You were asking the government.
I just told you. I told you here. I said, God bless you. When you give me the picture, I will know how to decipher the truth from the full story that you have given. I just have asked for the. Listen, when Asim said here that there is time for accountability, he's very correct, and I've said that severally, including for sin. If you lied, we'll count it on. Thank God I now know that is the minimum you're doing now. I will add it up to the one you go to fact to collect every day that I know that's published. And I know the status of River State.
And still, so far, you said from your KPI that he's doing well.
I just told you the area he's doing well, and I told you that one of the measures, and I keep repeating it, one of the major measure is that people are seen to be happy.
So the money is being generated into River State has been poured into making people.
You're still not getting. Just hold on, so that I'll build it and I'll give you.
All right.
I did tell you here that one of the basic measurement of leadership is the happiness of followership. Okay. Now, and I did say that that is not the only thing. I mentioned here job creation. I mentioned here education. I mentioned here agriculture. I mentioned here welfare. I mentioned several other parameters. But I said so far that there is one that he seems to have gotten. And I said did say something here. That whatever he has used to making them happy could be very temporary. And that's true to the extent that the other areas are not met. If he makes the mistake for the other areas not to be met, of course, the same persons like you do say here will abandon him and turn back. At that time, you begin to see diminished happiness, which will also show what? That you're failing.
I think
I did tell you, but let me tell you something you need to understand clearly here. When you say you rejigged a system, for us, we want to know what you rejigged. For revenue, there are simple things you can rejig, very simple things you can rejig. Your tax system, tax structure. I pay tax every day. I run a company. I'm an employer in River State. I run a company. I want to see how much extra you're taking from my hand because I'm not doing business, so I know what I paid as tax. I want to see whether something else has happened. I want to see whether because you have given me a tax rebate or you've come to do my road, I'm able to save money to have employed more persons from which you've come back to take extra money. Is that a rejigging? I want to know. Or you've come in an effort to tell me that, look, somebody before then used to hide this one, which is the one I have taken in my hand. That interpretation I've deciphered from that. That what you simply said in the whole of that statement was that this was what comes in, because nothing has changed significantly. That this was what comes in, and after that what comes in, this was what they used to declare that time, but this is the real truth. That we're making.
That's your.
That's my interpretation, and I've told you where my interpretation is coming from.
You know, that is where
that is where my interpretation is coming from.
You know, that's where the problem is now.
I'm reading.
From what I'm sorry, sir, Doctor.
Yes.
From what Laurentia read, I am beginning to have a different periscoping view from the nebulous, and cantankerous interpretations, by people in Facebook or those social media, whatever as case may be. If you go through it, I was thinking that the governor was saying that they embezzled or they were embezzling billions of naira and declaring, whatever they like. But from what you have read now, it says that we are going to think out of the box.
So who started?
You don't know what they said? So he did not directly indict the past government. He only said that there was a regime on ground, which he was part of. Do you know what thinking out of the box is? Like the past administration might say, okay, let's tax Obiakpo, let's tax Shell, let's tax this one, let's do this one, let's do this one. You understand the point now? Now, at the end of the day, 12 billion or thereabout was declared monthly. That they want to think out of the box. Thinking out of the box, which Nigerians or Rivers people don't know now, is what people are quarreling Tinubu for. Because if you want to think out of the box, you'll be very shocked now that Rivers State will say cyber security tax is part of internal revenue. Television and mass tax. You are thinking out of the box, so because the money you said you are getting, you have never gotten it. Because you think out of the box, these are the things you are going to implement. Now I know why these administration people are moving around now. It didn't happen before in the last 8 years. Just few days ago, in this my estate here, a sanitation boss threw very close to where I was doing something. So they are arresting people who were owners of shops. It's not far from here. We can go there and verify. And when I saw that as a crusader, I ran to them. I said, what is going on? Why can you arrest people arbitrarily and put them in your bus in residential areas? It has never happened. I intervened. And what the man who was leading them says, from Minister of Environment says, they have not paid this tax. Which tax? They say environment tax. I want to. I say, let me see. He brought out the receipt. Then I said they didn't buy the bucket. They didn't buy the waterproof they use in getting those things done. And I said, is this a new tax? He said it's a new tax that has been introduced by their ministry. Part of the money they are driving this tax for is part of thinking out of the box of the government of River State to further emasculate, bludgeon the people, harangue the people, you know, dismember our thoughts and living, and further inflict on us, you know, pains and rubbing salt on it. What I'm saying, you'll be very surprised they'll be paying radio tax now because they are thinking out of the box. So, the other government is not thinking out of the box. So, think out if you are going to be getting 27 billion, because we're asking this, and I believe that's what doctor is asking. How do you arrive at the mantra, the magical number of 27 billion a month? What are the indices to now get that 17 extra billion outside the one they were getting? So what do you want to do? Assuming they were able to steal in the other one, what foolproof and safety valves have you put in place that you declaring 27? That is not 56 you got, but you are declaring 27. What indices? I think that is what you're asking. That, or did the account? Are you sure that it's only 27 that we are getting? It's not 50 something, even 100 million in River State per month. So why come with a baptismal number, a magic number of 27? Let us know how it goes, as the case may be. So you see, by another way, do you know you've shot yourself in the foot now? You know, there's a government, they shot themselves on the foot. Because I don't know if I vindicate the other past government you are trying to vilify. Because I didn't know, and I'm going to make this known to every person I belong today. That please, you read that statement of the governor upside down, no? He didn't say that the past administration was stealing, no? He only said we are good, that they were getting less. But right now we're going to, think out of the box. You know, you can insult me, I'll be laughing. Because good manners bring very good insult. These people are very clever. The man might sit there and say, the only way to introduce these taxes now is that let's think out of the box. Like that environmental, I'm going to probe that environmental whatever and find out from that woman and write to the Minister of Environment now to let us know exactly where that particular tax emanated from. Is it part of the thinking out of the box of the present government? The reverse people, we have to open eye, because some of these things are small screens, so when they go and shout, underneath that they are doing some things under, you don't even know, like magic. That's what they say, the more you look, the less you see. I hope this government is not going to be like that. Thinking out of the box is a very dangerous word to be used. If I want to think out of the box one for employment now, I can do what they call ambush marketing. I can hang my whatever. A young man did it in Britain. He has been thinking under the box. Then one day he said, let me think outside the box. He now went and hung a very big signboard. I need job. I need employment. He walked around the street. For 3 days, he got somebody who helped him. So thinking out of the box is where I'm underlining. Now, I'm going to read that particular statement. And let people know that he didn't say that the past administration stole or they under-declared. He didn't say so. He didn't say we came under-declared. He only said, now we are going to think out of the box. That is, we want to think out. Those people, those things they were used to collect the revenue before it's not modern techniques. But this is why I employ modern techniques to raise the bar from 12 to 27. He didn't say,
I can add that. You can look at the books again. I'm coming, sir.
No, that's not what he said.
You can't tell him what he said.
He said,
we are rejecting.
I'm quoting him.
Good.
How much is our allocation?
Good.
So we needed to think.
Reject.
Hold on.
To rethink.
Go ahead. Don't take words out of
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because we're out of time.
To reject the existing revenue system, we suppose first ask the question: what is our revenue generating method? How much do we really generate? If you look at the books, you are most likely going to see 2 or 3 things. One, like I said, currently we are taking 24 taxes. The question will be, how much are we generating? How much is declared? The governor didn't say they audited. He doesn't to reject.
Is it possible that in rejecting
what I wanted you to clear,
taxes
wait.
You can add taxes. You can also be very
doctor. Hold on. So that you conclude.
And they say audit.
You are to audit means to reject.
From reject.
Wait, it doesn't.
Wait.
Accountant says audit.
I am a non-person, and I'm telling you now.
Okay,
to reject.